Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back at it again. Back at it again. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody who catches this live. Good morning to everybody who catches this in the recap. And I just want to say, man, happy Sunday to everybody. Let me make sure we all good for our technical. Make sure there's no technical difficulties, and it looks like we crystal clear here, man. Good morning to everybody. Tony Bellew versus Alexander Usyk. Tony Bellew gets KO'd by Alexander Usyk, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. First off, let me apologize for not being able to do an immediate recap last night. Had some things going on, but I couldn't wait to get on here this morning and talk about this fight, man. God damn, yo. Hey, Tony Bellew says now call him Anthony Bellew. He is no longer Tony Bellew, man. Gutted, absolutely gutted. Man, devastating knockout last night, but I got to say to both men, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. It's going to be a lot of criticism coming for Alexander Usyk and the way he performed last night, and we'll get into that. But from the top of this, man, let me just say hats off to Alexander Usyk for getting the job done, going in there effectively stopping Tony Bellew, man. Let's just say first off, man, Alexander Usyk, when I first started watching this fight last night, I said to myself, though, this is going to be a chess match. This is going to be a tough chess match for both men to figure out. And both men are boxers. And I said this in my prediction video. Neither man, I thought, was a bring the noise type fighter, if you will. Both men are boxers. Sit back, try to figure you out one way or another. And let me just say, I hope the mic is clear to everybody. But both men are boxers, man. And I was just like, I wasn't expecting a bruising type fight. I just had this. I wonder which man would lure the other man into their trap. And let me tell you, man. Well, first off, with Usyk, just coming out fighting a slower pace fight than I expected. Of course, the footwork was certainly there. I mean, I was expecting for him to do all the movement that he was doing, but mostly working behind a very, very busy jab, staying on point, staying on strategy with the jab, allowing Tony Bellew to really work himself. Tony Bellew was the one in those earlier rounds doing the sitting down on punches. Tony Bellew was the one in the early rounds looking for going for a knockout. And that's, I thought, was very unlike Tony Bellew. And, mixing that with the weight cut, the famous words of Andre Ward, you don't walk around for a couple years at heavyweight and then all of a sudden drop 30 pounds and expecting to perform at the top level for, over a 12-round fight. It's just against the physics of the body. You know what I mean? But, Alexander Usyk, man, working behind a busy jab. The body work wasn't really there as much as I thought he would be, but constantly had Tony Bellew working. Tony Bellew said it himself. Hitting this guy flush ain't nothing easy. You can count almost on one hand throughout those first early rounds how many times that Tony Bellew actually caught Usyk with those big shots. And Usyk just wasn't letting the big shots go. And this was all done purposely. So for anybody who want to sit back and judge the man performance and say, man, this guy, man, he better not go to heavyweight fight, doing like this. I don't think he could contend at heavyweight. Man, that was strategy, man. He was allowing Tony Bellew to work himself, knowing that in the later rounds that was going to pay off. I mean, standing, moving them, constantly turning them, getting in, getting out, just letting that jab go, keeping that jab on him. Sometimes hitting him, sometimes he wasn't. But Tony Bellew was just loading up. He had this mindset going into this fight that I got to stop this guy. You know what I mean? I have to stop. I have the power. I've been fighting at the heavier weights. I'm going to stop this guy. And it made him work to go for that knockout early so much. But I got to tell you, man, I thought both fighters fought a good fight. But the physicality of this fight, man, there was no way that Tony Bellew was going to be able to sustain that workload that Usyk was doing on, the little movements, as Usyk coming in, coming out, Tony Bellew not having much success, landing super flush in the early portions of the fight. It was making him work. And as we seen the fight progress on, that it was going to pay off. Tony Bellew just started to slow down a little bit more each and every round. He started to breathe in a little bit more harder each and every round, and Usyk knew this. And then Usyk went in, in that 8th round, caught him, bounced off the ropes, and a solid left hook, man. That was just, oh my God. If you look at it in slow motion, gruesome. Blood is splattering all out the man's eye. It was gruesome. You hear me? Man. But you know, I want to give a heads off to the UK fans, man. The reason I say this is because, yo, Tony Bellew, he's a decent fighter. But y'all hold him up as a awesome fighter, like top-notch, top A+ grade fighter. And I got nothing but respect for how the UK people treat Tony Bellew. Y'all actually care about that dude. I look at the comments of a lot of post-fight like interviews and the press conference and everything. Y'all care about Bellew, man. That character, Tony Bellew, really resonates with y'all, man. And I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all. I think that's commendable and good for him. But Tony Bellew, man, the workload, you know, just couldn't sustain that, man. Yeah, I thought he went in there and he gave his all. I thought he went in there and he did. He gave his all, but it just physically, he couldn't sustain it. It wasn't gonna be enough. It just wasn't, man, at all, man. But it is what it is. The man says he wanted to tell. I truly think that Bellew really wanted this fight because of the criticism that he was hearing about the competition that he's lost to throughout of his fight. I mean, out of his career, through all the ups and downs of his career. He know about the David Haye fight. He know how people really see that fight. And I truly believe that Tony Bellew went in there with something to prove. But yo, man, Eddie Hearn should have got him a better deal, man. He shouldn't have brought him back down to cruiserweight. He should have made Usyk. Usyk has already been talking after he became undisputed at the weight class. He was already talking about coming up to heavyweight, right? I thought that he should have fought him at the heavyweight division, and maybe we'd have got a bunch of different fight. I don't know. But we'd have got the heavier puncher that Tony Bellew wanted to be. I think he could have been that pride puncher at heavyweight. But, you know, that's not here nor there, man. The man is saying he's going to call it a career. And, you know, to the UK fans that supported that dude throughout the years, man, hats off to y'all, man. Real talk. But what's up with Alexander Usyk, man? Should this dude come up to heavyweight or should he not come up to heavyweight? Yeah, well, it's like ain't no stopping him now. Besides, there's no big fights at cruiserweight for him. But the fight that I'm really intrigued by, and y'all see it in the title, before we talk about Usyk at heavyweight, let's talk about Usyk and Andre Ward. You know, this question has been brought to SOG now a few times. Is this the type of fight that can lure SOG out of retirement? I think he got the itch. He want to come back. He's just looking for the right dance partner. Alexander Usyk, perfect dance partner. No, Andre Ward been sitting out of the ring. We last seen him at light heavyweight. Word on the curve is that the one time he wanted to come up to heavyweight. Man, this would be good. If Eddie Hearn can find the money, if he can find that bag, because it ain't gonna be cheap to get Andre Ward out of retirement. Trust and believe. But if he can find that money, I'd like to see a Usyk versus Andre Ward. Man, that will be a hell of a fight. Of course, Andre Ward is gonna want to take a soft touch. I don't see Andre Ward ain't that fighter that's gonna come right on back and jump into the ring with Alexander Usyk. We seen how he had to ease his way up to Sergey Kovalev. It took HBO to pay that man a lot of money, throw him a couple bums, and then say, look, on this third fight of this 3-fight deal, oh, you're giving us Sergey Kovalev. You know, so, I mean, but the thing is, yo, Andre Ward and Alexander Usyk, I'll be down to see that fight. I know a lot of fight fans going to be, nah, man, let Andre Ward stay retired after that Kovalev. You know, there's a lot of Kovalev's side of the track fans that doesn't like the way that Andre Ward beat Kovalev. But at the end of the day, Usyk should not just jump right into the heavyweight division, in my opinion. His dude, Aegis Climbers, the guy that's behind Usyk, yo, he better move him slow through the heavyweight division. Talking about fights with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, that's a little premature right now, in my opinion. And the reason that I say this is because Usyk is going to step into the ring with a whole nother level of punching. He needs to, look, I know his footwork is solid and things like that, but he need to feel some heavyweight punches on him and then, you know, learn how to maneuver around those. You don't just jump into that heavyweight division head first, bruh, because I'm going to tell you right now, this ain't cruiserweight. These dudes can punch. When you talking Anthony Joshua, that dude can punch. When you talking Deontay Wilder, that dude can punch. Him and Tyson Fury would be interesting, but, you know, we'll see what happens with Fury and Wilder. But, man, Usyk, I like you. You're a good fighter. Show a lot of tremendous skill, good footwork, and all that good stuff. But jumping up in there with the Anthony Joshua, just because you see that bag of money, I don't know how smart that is right now. And I don't even know if Eddie Hearn is going to even do that right away. I mean, you know, it's going to be interesting to watch. But nah, man. Nah, not at all. George Costanza says Usyk is very smart. Yeah, he fought a very intelligent fight, especially last night. I thought he fought a very intelligent fight, bro. You know, because he made Bellew work. He gave Bellew that illusion that you're going to be able to knock me out. And Bellew wanted it. He really did wanted it. And I can't be mad at him for wanting to make a statement. But Usyk knew, I'm going to keep this jab on him. I'm not going to increase my workload. I'm going to keep him moving, keeping his jab. Let him keep on throwing them shots. Let me just keep on getting out the way. And eventually my time will come. It was a smart for fight. Ward had to cheat against Kovalev, and he left after the division got hot. Yeah, well, and that's how a lot of the people who likes Sergey Kovalev, that's how y'all feel, because, and that's why I don't know how much, you know, when people mention a Ward versus Usyk, it's like, nah, man. And I seen comments on it, man. Nah, let him stay retired. Nah, he's the low blow champ. Nah, he's this. Nah, he's that. But hey, yo, man, I think this would be an entertaining fight. I think it'd be a real entertaining fight, man. Him and Andre Ward, because Andre Ward is not a fighter that's gonna stand right there in front of Usyk. Tony Bellew didn't really stand right there in front of him last night, and it pushed Usyk. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think Andre Ward would stand right there in front of him. Andre Ward be trying to lure them traps, set them traps. And most importantly, I think Andre Ward would go down to the body a lot more than we've seen Bellew do. And, you know, I think they'll make it an interesting fight. I think Ward will only fight for undisputed with the exception of Lebedev. He has no reason to stay at cruiserweight. He should fight Chisora or Povetkin. Are you saying that Usyk should go up and fight Chisora or Povetkin? Well, you know what? That'd be actually a decent fight. I don't know if Chisora will have the appetite to fight anymore after the Dillian White situation, but I think him and Povetkin will be a good fight. I don't think he should jump in there with big heavyweights right now. You know, lead the big boys, the super heavyweights, if you will. Let them mix it up right now, man. Usyk needs to ease his way into that division. No way. No way. No way at all, man. Main man is the main man. Can Ward get those nuts? Go ahead, man. Hey, upside. Hey, George. I think Ward and Usyk would be a fan's dream, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know Ward. Y'all I know how y'all talk about with the low blows and this, that, and the third. But yo, man, Usyk is a mover. Sergey Kovalev doesn't move nearly as well, as fluid, as much as Alexander Usyk. And, you know, for all of you low blow people out there, man, nah, I don't see it, man. Like, I don't see Ward being able to get, you know, stay in front. I mean, I don't see Usyk stand in front of Ward long enough to be hitting him with low blows and all that good shit. Yeah, wow, man. Nah, man. But, you know, man, Usyk, though, man, yeah, man, good fighter. But don't just jump into that heavyweight water thinking it's sweet, because it ain't. It ain't sweet, man. Wilder, man, them big shots from Wilder, big shots from AJ, I don't know how Usyk takes those. Yeah, he has the footwork. But, man, yo, man, everybody looks at heavyweight. Man, look what happened with Bellew. He just happened to get an opponent with David Haye that had Achilles issues and things like that. But, yo, David Haye was winning the early portions of that fight prior to his Achilles snapping. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. Usyk moves better than Ward. Yeah, well, especially probably at this point in their careers. Not to mention Ward coming up in weight, so he's a much heavier fighter. But, however, Ward has that intelligent boxing brain, bro. Ward knows when to go downstairs. Ward is not going to abandon the body. We seen that was the X factor between him and Kovalev. Ward ain't going to abandon it. Ward is going to figure out ways to slow down Usyk. But, you know, I don't want to take, man, I don't know, man. It's just to be an interesting fight. I don't know if the purse is big enough, if the desire is big enough to bring back Andre Ward for Alexander Usyk. But it would be something to watch, man. I think it'd be a hell of a fight to watch, truth be told, man. Yeah, I do. I truly do, man. Yeah, man, but Usyk needs to be thinking about small dudes. You know, ease your way into this division. You know, like you say, man, I think Povetkin and Usyk would be a hell of a fight. That would be the first fight that I will honestly suggest for him to go towards if he's going to step into the heavyweight division. Alexander Usyk and Povetkin, man. That will be, yeah, that'll be the first fight on the radar, in my opinion. Then let him ease his way in there, man. Real talk. But the AJs, not yet, man. AJ gonna put that pressure on him. That jab that Usyk was doing, that ain't gonna work for so long. Him constantly trying to move around the ring and just flick behind that jab against a Anthony Joshua. Nah, bruh. Nah, you gonna have a much harder, much stiffer jab coming back at you. Nah, man. Nah. Usyk boxing IQ was off the charts. Yeah, no question. I don't take nothing away from Alexander Usyk. I take nothing away, but I just need to still see at the heavyweight. He's done all that you can be done at cruiserweight. You know, I need to see if he wants to come up to heavyweight. I need to see how his punch resistance is going to be with these harder punches, man. That's going to be a major telling point. You know what I mean? Brian Jennings will be a good fight. Brian Jennings will be a good fight. Once again, another heavyweight that, you know, it will be a good gauge for Alexander Usyk. But yo, the elite dudes, nah, man. Hey, don't get caught up in the hype, fight fans. Don't get caught up in the hype. Gassiev and Breeders beat Kovalev better than Ward. Man, I don't know about, you know, but look when Ward caught Kovalev, man. Ward caught Kovalev when he was supposed to be the beast, when he was supposed to be in this prime, when he was this dude, that he was, you know, beating up on everybody. He had all that hardware. Come on, man. It's no excuse, man. Ward just actually put that beating on Kovalev, man. Y'all can try to make excuses. It was mental. It was mental. Ward did not back down from Kovalev, and Kovalev was used to fighters backing down from him in one way or another. Usyk versus Baby Miller. I don't even know if that's even. Nah, I mean, I understand you're going to say Baby Miller is lacking in speed and his stamina and stuff like that. But if Baby Miller, man, managed to put that weight down on Usyk, Usyk needs to ease into this division. It ain't no rush. The dude ain't got that many fights. It ain't no rush. Take your time, blood. Take your time. Don't be jumping up there with them big boys yet, man. Takam is a good fight for Usyk. Takam is a good fight for Usyk. Takam's pretty big, but Takam is up there in age. So, yeah, that would be a good fight for Usyk. Usyk got a lot of options at heavyweight outside of Anthony Joshua and outside of Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? I don't think that he should just be jumping up in that level right now. I still think Kovalev won the first war fight. Close fight. Very close fight. Fact of the matter, you know, even if you think he won the fight, he lost the war. But, I mean, on paper, he lost, bro. He lost. I mean, low blows, whatever y'all want to call it, man. The fact is he lost. We can rehash that fight. But he lost, man. And, you know, it is what it is. But Ward versus Usyk, man. How do y'all feel about Ward versus Usyk? Usyk versus Povetkin. Yeah. Hey, George, man, I hear you, man. But if this thing was on the other foot, you know, nobody would be giving Andre Ward, you know, no kind of say. Yo, they would be saying the same thing. He lost, man. He lost. He went in there with the Iron Kovalev, and he freaking lost. Eddie Hearn, man. You know, it was... You know, Eddie Hearn and Tony Bellew's relationship, man, that's something to admire, man. You got to, you know, I know we give Eddie Hearn a whole bunch of shit here in America, man. But the way that dude ran to the freaking ring after Bellew hit that ground, it was like, whoa. He tried to grab his head and he was just trying to console him. I honestly think when Tony Bellew opened his eyes and he seen Eddie Hearn standing right there above him, that was like it, man. That you know, the thing is, I understand Hearn has concern for him, but he shouldn't have did that, because if there was any fight left in Bellew to want to dig deep and get up off that canvas, looking up at Eddie Hearn standing above him like that, like, you know, that makes him say, well, man, you know what, I'm this is it. I thought that was a little, he shouldn't have done that, man. I understand he got love for the dude and that's his homie, but nah, man, he should have stayed away from that. Who knows? Tony Bellew may could have dug deep enough to get up. You just don't know. He wasn't quite out on his feet yet. Ward needs to keep licking them lips in retirement. Hey, man, I think it'll be interesting. It'll be a chess match, though. It won't be a like super entertaining fight. It'll be very similar to what we seen last night, with the difference with Andre Ward using his brain just a little bit more. It won't be a bruiser. It won't be a brawling fight. It wouldn't be, you know, two men beating each other up. Nah, man, that wouldn't be the case. It would be a very interesting chess match. So for all my diehards out there who love to see a chess match in the ring, I don't think you can get any better than Andre Ward versus Alexander Usyk. You know what I mean? Ward is irrelevant now. Well, Ward, yo, they keep bringing these questions to Ward, though, DGO. They keep bringing these. Ward be out there chilling, walking around with his backpacks. You know what I'm saying? Commentating fights, doing whatever he's doing, just keeping his name around the sport. But they keep bringing it to him. Is this fighter good enough to bring you out of retirement? Is that fighter good enough to bring? And now the new name is Alexander Usyk. Everybody wants to know, would Andre Ward accept the Alexander Usyk fight? You said Bellew didn't remember what had happened and when. Yeah, that may be. Look, man, don't get me wrong. I do think he knocked him into the middle of the twilight zone. But at the end of the day, if you're going to fight, you know, fighters dig deep sometimes when especially when they got so much on the line. This was the fight for Tony Bellew that he wanted to prove to everybody that he was a top-notch guy. He was supposed to be world respected. He wanted to prove to everybody because he got a lot of bad press after those David Haye fights. You know, for those who know, we know the fighter he was in, and we know how big of a money grab that was for him. He was fighting for other reasons. It wasn't money. It wasn't fame, if you will. It was honor. And so when you fighting for honor, you know, when you on that canvas, you dig deep sometimes. But being on the ground and you got Eddie Hearn above you, like, I'm here, my friend. I'm here for you. Just stay down, Tony. That doesn't help. This is a warrior sport, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you just don't know. And I just think that, honestly, I wish Eddie Hearn wouldn't have ran to him like that, man. It just, if you got concern for your homie, then that's fine. You talk to him after the fight. But he's in the fight of his life. He's in the fight of his life. Don't give him no reason to concede if he can get up. It was a hell of a shot, though, man. I watched that thing in slow motion. Yeah, Hearn is tight with Bellew, Joshua, and KO. Actually, I seen him go fishing with White. Yeah, and ain't nothing wrong with that, Ville. Ain't nothing wrong with it. That's actually, I admire that their promoter can have a good relationship with his fighters. That's all good. That's all well and good. But when they are in battle, when they are in the middle of battle, when they are fighting for their honor, stand back. Stand back, Hearn, because this is a realm that you know nothing about. That man is in there fight. He looked like he was through them ropes. Don't get me wrong. And I ain't saying he wasn't out, but I'm saying if there was any fight left, it wouldn't have came out with Eddie Hearn trying to grab him and console him like that. You know what I'm saying? And you let him get counted out and then you run in there and you see if he's okay. You know, you let him get counted out. And, you know, this is the reason why you got sanctioning bodies nowadays coming up with stupid rules like, oh, we're not going to allow fathers in corners, or trying to come up with rules like that because they know how their corners influence them in one way or the other. This is the least reasoning behind it. They understand that, you know what I mean? And you got to go and talk to him after the fight. But right now, if he's going to get counted out, then let him get counted out, and then you rush in there to make sure he's okay. But don't do it while he's in the heat of battle. Just don't do it. Now, don't get me wrong. Tony Bellew, man, he was fighting a pretty good fight, man. I had it much closer than the judges had it. I didn't have Alexander Usyk just running through Tony Bellew. I didn't have him up a zillion rounds on Tony Bellew. It was a tight fight. And, you know, but he ran out of gas. And the physical of Tony Bellew with the workload, loading up on those big shots. And I really do believe that Tony Bellew believes that if he didn't gas out, he would have really been in that fight. He had a really, really good chance of winning that fight. But Usyk knew, man. Usyk knew, because I was wondering, like, why is this dude, he's not really unleashing combinations. He's just working behind a jab and he's moving. Working behind a jab and he's moving. Where the combinations at? All those cruiserweight fights, he was unloading combinations on these dudes. Where's that at? We seen none of that in the first 6 rounds. It was a jab, 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 jab. And he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. It was brilliant. From a game plan point of view, it was brilliant. He didn't waste a lot of overall energy, and he served his energy, and he allowed Tony Bellew to work himself down like that. But I mean, Bellew is not a big puncher, man. I don't know where people get this thing that Bellew is this big punch. He's not. He's a good boxer. He's a good, you know, he was known for his speed in the light heavyweight division, even at cruiserweight. He was never really known for overall big arching power to be this big bruiser. That's not Bellew. But Bellew had a lot to prove last night. And, you know, the word on the curb is that he didn't have to take this fight. I listened to Bellew talk. He said he's made very smart investments. He's got money. His family is straight. His wife and kids are set up for life. So he didn't have to really take this fight. He pushed himself and challenged himself to take this fight. You know what I mean? And I respect that, man. I respect that. Like, I respect that to the fullest, bro. I just wish he would have been more smarter, and his homie Eddie Hearn would have got a better deal for him to brought Alexander Usyk up to heavyweight. That would have been the better route, in my opinion. But man, oh man. So we won't be seeing Tony Bellew, you know, and let me say one more thing too, because fighters feel this way after defeats. How many fighters we've seen, you know, oh, I'm done with the sport. I have no more left in the tank. I gave him my all. And I truly believe Tony Bellew when he says it. But let's give it a few weeks. And I mean, we've seen this play over many, many times. You get the right person in your ear. You see the right opponent presents itself. Who knows? We know before Tony Bellew was even in talks with Tyson Fury at one time, right? Let's just say Tyson Fury, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's just say Tyson Fury loses to Deontay Wilder. Would not Tony Bellew be interested in the Tyson Fury fight? Tyson Fury is a guy who likes to box just like Bellew. If Bellew has any chance at an elite heavyweight, I think Tyson Fury would be his best bet, and it'd be a big money fight. But I don't know. But I mean, we'll see. Let's give it time. But I feel Bellew. I know he's gutted, and I know the UK fans, y'all feel for him. But I thought he was a good fighter, decent fighter. I've never had him at the cream of the crop. I thought he has always been a good fighter, a speedy fighter. But I've had him losing this fight from day one. Unfortunately. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. So, I mean, I ain't got much more to say about this other than may Tony Bellew go off into the afterlife of boxing, and may he have a good career, a good life. I hope his health stays up, and I'm glad it's good to see a fighter walk out on their own merits, still with all of their faculties and everything in their brain, man. Real talk. Bellew wanted to fight for undisputed even when the WBA wanted to strip Usyk. Bellew said he only wanted. Well, okay. Well, that's what's up. He wanted that undisputed thing. I get it. It's all about honor with Bellew at this point. It's not about the money. It was about honor. And if that's what he wanted, if that's but it just wasn't smart. Why? How long has this dude been up at the higher weights at heavyweight division? Why do that to yourself? Why put yourself in a harder position to win and going back down to cruiserweight? And that's what I just didn't like. I wish this fight would have went down at heavyweight, and it would have been promising. You know what I mean? I think it would have showed us what Alexander Usyk can do at a heavier weight, and most importantly, it still would have gave him the name. It may not would have gave him the hardware, but it would have gave him the name. When he took those David Haye fights, he didn't take it for the champion. He took it for the name. And when you get into the twilight years of your career, you're fighting for names. You're not really fighting for belts. So I just don't think it was a smarter thing. I think he could have just took Alexander Usyk at heavyweight, you know what I mean, and not put that weight cut on himself like that, because we all knew how this was going to play out, man. You can't beat the physicalities of the body. Andre Ward said it better than anybody. You just can't do it. You may shine in the early portions of a fight, but you will fade. You will fade. And I really believe that Usyk knew this, and this is the reason he made him work so much. Still, what it is, man. I'm gonna miss Bellew though, man. I'm gonna miss him. The shit that he talks, man, is funny, man. The dude got character, man. And I hope he does get a commentating job, whether it be on DAZN or whatever network. You know what I mean? I'm sure Eddie Hearn to keep him around the sport. He's a good commentator. I like to hear him talk through fights. He's a good broadcaster or whatever you want to call it. And I hope he does hang around commentating because the dude funny as hell, man. Funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing you can't take away from Tony Bellew. The dude has always had character, man. He always had a lot of damn character, man. But let's see how Alexander Usyk performs at the higher weights. I'm hoping that Andre Ward presents himself because I'm just a diehard fan like that. And I love chess matches. Some people don't. I don't know, man. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think Ward gets him. After one or two tune-up fights, man. I think Ward beats Usyk. I mean, that's just an early opinion. I need to see more, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's still, I think at this point, I really do think Ward, man, has a very good shot against Alexander Usyk, man. I mean, Alexander Usyk, like I said, the footwork is there, but Ward is the guy who knows how to nullify those things. Ward is the type of fighter that knows how to lure you into his traps. Ward is just that kind of fighter. And I don't know if Usyk takes the bait or not, but it will be a hell of a fucking fight, man. Real talk, man. You know what I mean? I don't understand how y'all fight fans can say that y'all don't want to see that, man. I think that'd be a hell of a fight, man. Real talk. But we'll see. It's going to take a lot of money. And I don't know if Eddie Hearn or whoever, man, has the want to give Andre Ward a bunch of money to see not a brawling fight. I just don't know. It'll be a chess match. And it won't attract the casuals. So I just don't know, man. Real talk. So that's all I got on this here, man. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at there, man. Like I said, Tony Bellew, may you go off, sir, and have a good family life. He's no longer Tony Bellew. I take that back. Anthony Bellew. Yes, sir. Smash the like button for me. ONN Senior, what's up with you, my friend? What's up with you, man? Smash the like button for me, man. Smash the like button for me. But yeah, we can't call him Tony Bellew no more. It's Anthony Bellew. And may he go off into the sunset and enjoy all of his investments. I was listening to him talk about his investments. Dude's a smart dude, man. Smart dude. He invested in houses and stuff like that. He's got a lot going for himself, man. You know, and he proved he attempted to go for a big thing in boxing. And he said it. He said, yo, whether he won or, you know, lose or draw, he was going to lead the sport anyway. So it was all about honor for this dude. And whenever you see that happen, you can't do nothing but respect it. So let's see, man. So to the next video, Main Man Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe to Twitter, Made Man 511, Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum, Google Plus, Main Man Made Man. Appreciate everybody for showing up. For everybody who missed this, man, go ahead, catch the recap. Maybe I'll get back on here a little later on, man. But yeah, because there's some other things in boxing I wanted to talk about, but I didn't want to associate it with this live stream. And maybe we'll get back on here sometime this afternoon. After I watch my Cowboys play. To all my Cowboys fans out there, man, what's good, what's goody, you know. But yeah, man. Tony Bellew, well, Anthony Bellew, aka Tony Bellew, go off into the sunset, my man. To the next video. Peace out.